All right, we talk a lot about people that I've met in the profession, and a lot of times they're political people. We've talked about meeting Bill Clinton and Jimmy Carter, and I think we talked about Dick Cheney. We've talked about a lot of people. This one's funny. So I'm late for a plane. I'm flying from LA to Vegas, and I'm literally the last person. They're closing the door, and I'm running on, right? And I've got my typical, I got a tank top, and I've got shorts, and my toenails are painted purple, and my nail, and I've got, anyway. So I come running on the plane, I sit down, and I'm the last guy, and the guy gets up next to me, and I sit down, and I said, sorry, I just almost missed the flight. And as I'm mid-sentence saying sorry, I kind of noticed this guy's like, perfectly coiffed. You know what I mean? Or a guy, he smelled like right out of a barber shop. Just smelled like that, Barbasol, and his hair was perfect, and his suit was perfect. Everything was perfect. I, on the other hand, is a complete opposite, right? So I'm looking, I'm thinking, this guy's got to be someone I know. He looks so, it's Mitt Romney. So I said, oh, and this is when he's running for president. So I said, oh, nice to meet you. And he shakes my hand, and he says, yeah, I'm running for president. I said, yeah, I know. And he said, I said, sorry, I would have dressed up if I'd known I was going to sit next to him in the plane. He goes, oh, no, don't be silly. That's what you do for a living. And he knew, he said, Carrot Top. So I was like, that's kind of cool. He knew who I was. He's like, no, you're Carrot Top. This is how you're supposed to dress. I said, well, no, I don't know if I'm supposed to dress that way, but this is how I dress. And I said, of course, you're Mitt Romney. This is how we should switch mid-flight. You should come, I'll wear what you have and you wear what I have. I mean, he laughed, and so we're taxiing, and he's got his newspaper, and he's reading like with his knee up. And I remember I was reading like a People magazine, and he was reading the Wall Street Journal, I think. And I leaned over and I said, even what you're reading is smarter than me. Because he had this like Wall Street Journal, and I'm reading like, Teen Beat or something. So as we take off, I said, you're going to get a drink? And I said, you're probably not going to get a drink. So I said, I'll have a glass of wine. I felt awful ordering a glass of wine next to him. Mormon too, so he's probably not going to have a drink. So we're going. He says, wow, your toenails are purple. I said, I would have worn shoes. I had no idea. And then we're flying for the whole time. He's reading. I didn't say a word. And finally, we're about to land. They take my wine away reluctantly. And he leans over to me and he says, so do I have your vote? And I said, depends. And he says, what's that? And I said, let me see your toes. And he's like, my toes? And I said, if your toes are purple, I'm fucking voting for you. And he said, yeah, my toes aren't purple. I said, it's not too late. We can paint them purple. And he just like, the fuck. And I don't remember if I did vote for him or not. I don't remember. How great is that? Can you see my toes? I did the same thing with my lawyer, by the way. So my lawyer, I know, why do I have a lawyer? So, because people want to get me. So I was filming a movie called Chairman of the Board. Maybe you haven't heard of it. Oh, it's a blockbuster. It hit it opened in Blockbuster, actually. I was shooting a movie, and my lawyer came to the set, and we were on the beach where we were for like 2 months shooting. And my lawyer came up, and he brought me some things I had to sign, and he had his shoes off, and I said, why are your toes not painted? And he said, because I'm a lawyer. And I said, not in court you're not. You wear shoes in court. You don't have to, you could have toe rings and everything you want, but you're going to be the judge is going to say during the middle of the trial, could you take your shoes off, Mr. Nelson? The very next day, he shows up on the beach, and he's got his feet buried in the sand. And I said, oh, let me see. And he was so happy, proud. He pulled his feet out and shook the sand off, and they were bright purple. That is why he's still my lawyer. God honest truth. And he's smart. But his toes are purple. Keeper.